All right, Shalom. It's your brother Quashab coming back at you with another lesson. But before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash. The bonus to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me true blue well. And peace, blessings, salutations be to those who elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right. And I just want to get into a lesson a day, pretty much laying back, all right, off of the elder brother Zahab, GMS Mississippi, all right, in which he went into a beautiful lesson on conquering ourselves, all right, and it's our first project, all right. So I just kind of wanted to land back off it and just go into, just ruling ourselves, man, all right, because if we can't rule ourselves, how we're supposed to rule the world, all right? How we're supposed to govern the world if we can't govern ourselves, man, all right? In which Yahushua, when he came and walked the earth in his last reincarnation, he showed us that, this is, you can do this, all right? You can overcome because what? I have overcome, And I didn't even have that one queued up, but I'm going to have to get it, all right? Because he set the example of overcoming the flesh, overcoming the world. Why? Because he was perfect, all right? He was perfect, man, all right? And he was found innocent, all right, in the eyes of the Most High, all right? Whether, Jake said, give us Barabbas, but, as Pontius Pilate said, I find this man, guilty on nothing, man. All right, which Yahushua fulfilled everything perfectly, all right? He said, I ain't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it, And as Apostle Paul said, he kept, he fighting to keep his body in subjection. Well, Yahushua kept his body in the subjection, man. All right. Now, I think that's John 16, because I was going to start with this Matthew. All right, turn it down a little bit. I think it's John 16. Yeah, it's John 16 and 33. It says, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. All right, and Yahushua overcame the world, man. All right, which is why, he's sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father, you see. But the world that, we need to overcome is ourselves, man. That's the, like brothers go into, all right, different apostles, all right, elder brothers go into, the war against yourself, all right, the war against the flesh, And this is the main thing in this truth that we have to overcome. All right, is the world, man. The world within ourselves, man. All right, like the brother put it, this is the first project that we have to complete before we can complete any other project, man. Okay? And that's what the Lord is doing. He's constantly trying us, all right, putting our faith on trial, in order to do what? Increase and be built up and ultimately made perfect, man. But I'll go back to the Matthew 6 and 33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of our power and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. All right. So, we often use the scripture, seeking the kingdom first is, putting the work first, putting his ministry first. All right. And everything else is going to come with it once you put the will of the Lord first. Right. But ultimately, if you a part of seeking the kingdom is ruling yourself, man. The kingdom literally, it starts within you, all right? It literally starts within you ruling yourself, man, all right? And once you go into this word rule, right, it simply means to control, govern, sway, or dominion, all right? The meaning, regulation, governing. All right, I started at the second paragraph, all right, but I'll read the top. It says a principle or maxim governing conduct, A formula to which conduct must be conformed. You see, your conduct, your anastrophe must be conformed. It must be changed. All right. And the biggest battle is you. All right, overcoming the lust of the flesh, man. All right, which is why the scriptures speak about these things. You see, it says to rule or to straighten. You see, to direct in a straight line. All right, it's something that's in a straight line. Is what? A straight line is perfect, man. All right, a line that's got going this way, going that way. It's not perfect. All right, which that's what we're working towards, perfection. You see, every day should be a day that you grow and you increase, all right, in refraining from your lust, refraining from the flesh, man, to overcome your own self. You see, to be able to rule yourself, man. As I said earlier, if you can't rule yourself, how can you rule the kingdom? You see, this is what we're practicing in righteousness, all right? This is what we're rehearsing. You see, because overcoming yourself and ruling yourself, hey, man, that puts you on a much greater, a higher level in your thinking, okay? In your spirit, your spirit, man. That puts your spirit on a higher level, okay? Because all of these things do that, these lusts of the flesh, these different things do, all it does is cause us to err, all right, and go off and what? We start to overthink, all right? Leaves us a space for demons to creep in our minds, man. All right. This is why this is so important to conquer yourself, man. And it was a very needed, all right, and a heavy lesson, man, to go into, But there's a few things I spoke about, and I got some precepts lined up, all right. But go Sirach 18 and 30, it says, "Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites." All right, once the appetites goes into the different things we digest, the different things we eat, okay? Not literally, okay? But it says, if thou givest thy soul, what did I do? All right, it says, if thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thy enemies that malign thee. You see? So you give yourself over to those lusts, those appetites, the things that your flesh desire, that's gonna make you a laughingstock, man. All right. One, because you're not gonna make it to the chariots, okay? If you can't refrain yourself from your lust, the appetites of the flesh, man. All right, the different things that you desire to do, and it's not good for you, right? That's why I say, prove thy soul in thy life, man, and prove what is good for thee. All right, which I have that one as well. All right, but it says, verse 32, "Take not much pleasure in good cheer, need to be tied to the expense thereof." All right, but that was the point, going not after our lusts and refraining ourselves from our appetites, man. The things you like to indulge in. All right, even if it could be righteous, right? But this is such thing as overindulging, all right? Which majority of the things that we indulge in, all right, that's not in the spirit is mostly folly, all right? And too much of that can destroy you, But I think it's Sirach 37 and 27. And it's going to back up the point. It says, "My son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it." So if you see something, it may be a particular game or a show, all right, or a job, all right, or a woman, okay? You have to see or prove that and see if that's good for you, all right? Is this hindering me in the truth? Is this stopping me from studying? Is this stopping me from reading? Okay, am I taking up too much? Is this taking too much of my leisure time to where I can't study? You see, this is a part of proving your soul in your life, man. All right, and seeing what's evil for it, and when you see that, oh, I can't do this, I can't indulge in this too much, I can't do it, right? I can't mess with her. You see? Oh, I can't work here. They working me too many hours. Well, every time I get on this game, I just completely don't study. Well, that means just don't do it, right? That means just give not that unto it, man. And this is why. It says, for all things are not profitable for all men. You see? Because one brother may be able to do it, right? Just because he can, that don't mean you can, right? Every trial or every temptation is tailor-made for each man. You see? So just because this brother can do it, that don't mean you can do it, man. All right? And that's a part of proving your soul and seeing what's evil for thee, man. All right? It says, neither had every soul pleasure in everything. All right? And that was the point, you know. That was the point, man. But there was something else I wanted to go into. Something I wanted to say. I kind of lost my train of thought, you know. But this is all a part of ruling over yourself, man. All right, that's what these scriptures apply to rule over yourself. All right, and that's the most important thing. This is a part of seeking the kingdom. All right, having power, dominion, and control over your own self, man. You see, because that's why Apostle Paul spoke about it in Romans the 8th chapter. You know, the things that I would do, I do not, and the things that I do, I don't want to do. You see, because the flesh is strong, the world is strong, man. All right. And that's why it's a constant battle of a fight to conquer your own self, man. You see, and that's what you have to conquer yourself before we can reign with Yahushua and conquer the world, man. You see? And you got to believe that the Lord is going to give you the spirit to do that, man. Okay? Because only the elect are going to be the ones to win over themselves, okay? Because if you can't do it now, how much more in the times of trouble? How much more when the times of the MOTB being made mandatory, man? And you just want a bite to eat, you see? And it's been 2 days and, you know, you haven't eaten. But you go and do something off, right? You go eat some pork. You know, you go take the chip, man. Why? Because you haven't been practicing and refraining yourself from your appetites, man. You see? And I'm not talking about literal appetites. When I say appetites, it's different things that your flesh wants to do. All right? I'm not talking about literal food, man. All right? Why? Because you haven't been proving yourself and seeing what's evil for yourself, man. You haven't been fasting and you haven't been praying, you know? These are a part of proving yourself and seeing what's evil for it and give not that unto it, right? I think it's in the same chapter. No, that's not it. You know, it's all good. But you know, I'll just get the rest of them and get out of here. That is 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 25. It says, and every man striveth, for the master is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. All right. So when you temperate, you're moderate in all things, right? So if you're moderate in all the things, why not be moderate with yourself? Why not have a balance within your own self, man? All right, because this can lead you to what? This can lead you to the kingdom. Having balance, all right? Knowing what's good, knowing what's evil for you, okay? And sticking to that, what you know, all right? Sticking to the things that's simple, man. Like the scripture says, simplicity in Yahushua, all right? Now, this is the point. It says, I therefore so run not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep my body under my body and bring it into subjection. Okay? Just want to read that in NLT. What was that? 1 Corinthians 25. All right. 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. It says, I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should, right? And if you want to follow Yahushua, you got to be disciplined, man. All right? The word disciple, it goes back to being disciplined. You see? It says, otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified, right? So you preaching these things to others, but you're not practicing it yourself, it's going to lead you to destruction, man. You know? That's why brothers say, I myself personally, I say, a lot of these lessons, be to myself first and foremost, all right? Because we do struggle with some things, and some things we do fail at, all right? But the important part is examining it and correcting it, man. Examine it and correct it. You see? That's a part of the discipline. That's a part of fighting, all right? Now, I had one going into that discipline. I had bookmark, right? It's Sirach chapter 32, verse 14. It says, whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor. All right? They that seek him early shall find favor if they do what? Receive the Lord's discipline, man. You see? Giving not your lust, giving not yourself over to your lust, man. You see? It says, he that seeketh the law will be filled thereat, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. And they that fear the Lord shall find judgment, and shall kindle justice as a light. But a sinful man will not be reproved and find an excuse according to his will. All right? And that's what a man that don't have a rule over his own soul would do. Find an excuse. Oh, I ain't tripping out. I got it. I can control it. Well, you just finding an excuse for yourself to continue to do it, man, and not facing the mirror the mirror on the wall. You're not fighting. You see, if you're giving yourself over to these things, and that's not a part of conquering yourself, man. Or ruling yourself. It's just gonna be excuse after excuse, and then next thing you know, the missile's gonna be coming, man. You see. You're not fearing the Lord, man. You're not receiving the discipline that the Lord has set aside just for you. All right? But let's get the word discipline. All right? Okay. Now it says penitential chastisement. Punishment for the sake of correction. You see? Hey, man, you have to punish yourself, discipline yourself for the sake of correction before a brother could do it for you, man. All right? Because a brother could talk to you till you blue in the face, but if you don't discipline your own self or punish your own self, how you ever gonna get straight, man? All right? Which is why you see guys, come and go, because they just simply lack discipline. All right, and in order to follow Yahushua, you have to have discipline, which is why it says, see disciple. All right, it says see disciple. Right, it says one who follows another for the purpose of learning, especially the personal followers of Yahushua HaMashiach during his life. The 12 apostles chosen are called by him to be his immediate associates. All right, so if you follow Yahushua for the purpose of learning, you have to what? Be punished for the sake of correction. You see? Which is why the Lord punishes us for the sake of what? Correction. As he dealing with us as sons and not bastards, man. You see? But it all starts with you. Okay? And when you get to the point of learning and doing better, all right, actually having that rule over yourself, it gets you closer to Yahushua, all right? Yahweh by Yahushua, man. All right? Yahweh through Yahushua, you see? That was pretty much it, But that's the importance of having that discipline, all right? Because the discipline goes into being a disciple, who's ultimately one who follows Yahushua, whether he go it, man. All right? I think I got one or two more. I want to get Matthew, I think it's 16. Yep, Matthew 16 and 24, it says, then Yahushua said unto his disciples. You see, his disciples, all right, those who what? Were punished for the ways of correction, all right, are suffering to be corrected. However, I forget exactly how it said, but you know what I mean. It says, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. All right, now let's see what this word deny, all right, when it says let him deny yourself, right? It's Strong's G533.
Strong's G533. Aparneomai.
All right, and which says to deny, to affirm that one has no acquaintance or connection with someone. You see? It says to forget oneself, lose sight of oneself, and one's own interests. You see, putting on that new man, the things of old, that old man wants, all right, the things the flesh wants, just completely losing interest in it, man. All right, completely putting it off. You see, that's what it means to deny yourself, Why? Because you're going to follow Yahushua. So those same things that you were into, you can't bring those with you, man, But I think I ended off here in Revelations 2, okay, because we go into this all the time in the show what we receive at the hand of Yahushua, which is the power over the nations. I'll read it. It says, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, which I opened up with the John 16. All right, then Yahushua said he overcame the world so we can do it, right? And he's reiterating it here. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, right? But to overcome, you have to overcome yourself first, man. All right? And let's see what this word power means, because this is the same power that you need to have over yourself, man. All right? It's Strong's G1849, exousia.
Strong's G1849, exousia.
Right, it says the power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, right? In which we know that our steps are ordered by the Lord, all right? And we still, whatever we do, it's obeying his will. But that's why Paul said it's a fight. I certainly fight. You right? It says physical and mental power, or the ability, strength with which one is endued, whether he possesses or exercises the power of authority and of right, okay? The influence, privilege, the power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. You see, authority over mankind. So if we're going to have and possess this type of power in the kingdom, well, why can't we possess this type of power over ourselves, man? All right, because it literally starts with us, So that's pretty much the point, man. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, the honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this true and rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations be to the hopefully elect. Till next time, I say shalom.